بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. We have here a request, but it's like a forward request. He says, share with us your experience of being a student of knowledge, meaning how you became a student of knowledge and what methods you used to memorize ilm, how your shuyukh treated the students, and what was your reaction to that, etc. The questioner or the student could have worked on the wording of his request. Also, he could have been more polite. I believe this student is really young, and this is something that you expect from young men. But I will try to answer these things. Yeah. My experience of being a student of knowledge, meaning, this is really specific, how you became a student of knowledge. I became a student of knowledge when my parents my father in particular brought Shaykh Mukhtar to help me memorize the Quran when I was a kid. This is the beginning, and even after becoming a mature person, I continued with the Shaykh Mukhtar. And at the time, Shaykh Mukhtar was this is something I have never mentioned before. Like in a YouTube video, maybe I mentioned it to some of the students or in the durus, but Shaykh Mukhtar used to make me read Zad al-Masir, Ibn al-Jawzi's tafsir, while reciting and memorizing Al-Quran. Didn't at the time, never understood what this was, but actually it benefited me a lot. And he used to correct my reading, not the recitation, the reading of the book. And he used to teach me grammar while doing all this, like a hidden way of teaching al-ilm to someone without even telling him that this is al-ilm or so. He was a great Azhari Shaykh, and he was Hanafi scholar and scholar of the Quran al-Kareem. Unfortunately, I lost his anyway, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him. Then I took the decision to study al-ilm when I was like 17 or something, while understanding what this means, and I started going to al-Mashaykh, especially in Al-Azhar al-Sharif. I went to everyone, Wahhabiyya, Salafiyya, people whom I can't even mention here, and but I was always convinced with what the Hanabila mention in their books. I've always been Hanbali. I even questioned the Hanbali madhab in a very harsh manner at the very beginning in order to make sure that this is the madhab I am following, and started objecting even to the Salafi shuyukh who were teaching me the Hanbali madhab. I have so many shuyukh that I have never mentioned before, and this is how I started when I was like 17 or something. It was a very rapid progress. By the age of 21, some of my mashayikh had already given me ijazat, and some of them even allowed me to teach. But my rapid progress is not something that can be taken as a standard. I had special circumstances, I believe. What methods you use to memorize al-ilm? Repetition while holding something like a sibha. So you bring a sibha like this. Hopefully you do not consider it a bid'ah. And it has here, for instance, 100 beads. Yeah. So you count on a sibha 50. So the sibha does 2 verses, or maybe if you are memorizing 2 verses, so 50 on a sibha. Yes. So you finish it. When you finish the 100 beads, now you have already memorized 2 verses, each verse 50 times. Sometimes I do it more. This is how I used to memorize. And then how I link the verses. I usually link 2-3 verses together, and I repeat the 3 of them, the 4 of them, or the 2 of them, the 3 of them 50 times. Again, what worked what worked for me does not necessarily work for people. I am doing this, and I describe myself as a person who has like an eidetic memory. I can easily memorize things. If you show me something, I memorize it. Yeah. I hated memorization, by the way. I always resisted it, but I memorized a lot of books, a lot of things. And I think memorization helps you understand, and this should be the purpose of memorization, that it helps you understand. This is what scholars discuss in their books. I believe I explained this concept in Nuzhat al-Nadar, yeah? When the author was talking about the idea of making the book so concise that it can easily be understood. Memorized, hence understood. Yes. Also, I used to do it the difficult way. I used to memorize prose, not poetry, prose most of the time, which helps you memorize al-hadith with its asanid. This is what you should aim at if you have a good ability, especially that you are young. Memorization is not our priority, though. Good understanding is our priority. And for you, and I'm not going to mention your name, you know yourself, join one of the adab courses. The part of the adab of the students in تذكرة السامع والمتكلم. And for the rest of you, join all parts of تذكرة السامع والمتكلم. I insist on it, and I probably do not do this. I do not tell people go do this course and I insist on something like this, but I insist that everyone who's seeing this, who is seeking knowledge, who is trying to become a student of knowledge, who is considering becoming a student of knowledge, go study the protocols of a shaykh, the protocols of al-ilm, the protocols of the students, and even schools. Yeah, but we haven't come to this part yet. Go study all parts of تذكرة السامع والمتكلم. Take the second part first, then the third part, then the first part. This is how you do this is the priority, in my opinion. How your shuyukh treated the students. Different shuyukh, different treatments, you see. Different students, different treatments as well. My shuyukh treated the students in different ways. Some of my shuyukh were really harsh. Yani if you do the slightest thing, they just kick you out. Some of them were lenient, but if they get angry, khalas, yani, you are dead. And some of them gave those are the ones from whom I benefited the most. They gave me more than anyone else, a lot of freedom. It worked for me, freedom to do what I want, while they guide me, while they, you see how they coach, guide. I benefited a lot from these shuyukh, and after some time their treatment changed based on your level. If you are still the same, as we say in Arabic, yani ahmaq, foolish person, they go harsher on you. Yes, if you develop and you show prospect that you are becoming a scholar now, a young scholar, a very advanced student of knowledge, even some branches of al-ilm, they start showing respect that they never gave you before, because you would never be able to handle it. You would misunderstand it. To the extent that some of them started treating me as a shaykh. And he used to say, I'm not mentioning names, he used to say, I am reading with you because we study together. Not because I am a shaykh. I'm just studying with you. I benefit you and you benefit me, to that extent. And I was just a student, and the subject or the discipline that we were studying, I was weak in it, and I didn't like it actually. Yeah. My reaction, no reaction. I just hated when the mashayikh practiced a lot of unnecessary authority. Yes, maybe sometimes they even control things that should not be controlled, because it's harmful to control these things. I believe it's due to the fact that they are professors in the university, and they have this idea of, I have your grades, But when we go study together in al-Jami', he does not have the grades. He has to compensate. He starts practicing authority in a negative way, in my opinion. This was not my reaction at the time, by the way. This is my reaction now after becoming a shaykh. At the time, I used to be obedient. My only concern, my concern then when I was a student was about those mashayikh who interfere with my personal life, because they were not my mashayikh in tasawwuf, but they interfered a lot with my personal life, with my lifestyle and other things. Not because they are interested in enhancing how I am in al-ilm, but they were just some Egyptians are like that. They interfere. They interfere with people's lives. Yeah. But it never prevented me from benefiting from them, and I actually benefited a lot from these people. Actually, certain names in my mind. I think I've covered everything in your suggestion. You in particular. Your name begins with R. You join the durus of al-adab and begin with the third installment or the third part. For everyone else, begin with the second, then the third, then the first. This is enough. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam. وصلي اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.